Welcome back to Mind and Market by Prerona. If you've ever opened your phone to order food, there's a very high chance you didn't evaluate options. You didn't sit and compare apps. You just opened Zomato. And that's interesting, right? Because in theory, Zomato really isn't doing anything dramatically different from its competitors. The same restaurants, same delivery ecosystem, same discounts most of the time. And yet, it feels different. Today's episode is called Zomato and the Business of Attention: How a Food Delivery App Became One of India's Most Recognizable Brands. To understand Zomato, we need to step away from the app for a second and step into the world it operates in. It's 8:47 p.m. in any Indian city. Someone just got back from work, someone else is finishing a late lecture, or maybe a group of friends is sitting together, too tired to cook, too indecisive to agree. And almost instinctively, someone says, "Zomato kar de kya?" Not, "Let's order food," but Zomato. Did you hear the difference? That shift from product to verb is not accidental. That's branding. Food delivery as a business is brutally simple. Open app, choose food, wait, eat. From a functional perspective, there's almost no magic. And that's exactly the problem. Because when products look the same, the brain stops caring about differences. It defaults to memory. Behavioral economics tells us something very clear. When choices are similar, humans don't optimize, they simplify. We don't ask which app is objectively better. We ask which one comes to mind first. And that's the game Zomato chose to play. To understand how Zomato did this, we need to rewind slightly. Back to early 2010s India. Facebook was growing, Twitter was becoming a space for brands, memes was still evolving, not as structured as today, but definitely emerging. Most Indian brands at that time sounded careful, polished, safe, and corporate. They spoke at consumers, not with them. And then Zomato entered the conversation, not as a company, but almost as a person. Zomato didn't try to impress you. It tried to sound like you already knew it. And that's a very subtle difference. Because most brands, when they enter your phone, behave like guests. Careful, polite, slightly distant. But Zomato didn't. It behaved like it had already been there for a while. Think about the first time you noticed a Zomato notification. Not consciously, but the first time it made you pause even for a second. It didn't feel like information. It felt like a comment. A small, slightly unnecessary, but oddly accurate comment on your life. And over time, those comments started adding up. Not in a way you could track, but in a way your brain could recognize. This is where something interesting happens. Not at the level of marketing, but at the level of memory formation. Because the human brain doesn't store brands as data. It stores them as patterns of familiarity. A tone you have heard before, a style you have seen before, a feeling you have experienced before. So every time Zomato said something that felt just a little bit too real, it wasn't just communication. It was repetition with variation. And that's exactly how memory strengthens. Now layer this with something very specific to how we live in India. Our attention is not linear, it's fragmented. You're scrolling while talking, replying while eating, watching something while thinking about something else. Attention here doesn't come in long stretches. It comes in small overlapping fragments. Which means no brand is ever really heard completely. It is only glimpsed. Zomato understood this early, so it didn't try to say big things. It focused on saying small things repeatedly in the right moments. For example, a notification when you're already slightly hungry, a billboard when you're stuck in traffic thinking about dinner, a tweet during IPL when your attention is already split between the match and your phone. None of these moments are dramatic. Individually, they're almost forgettable. But together, they started forming a pattern. And once a pattern forms, the brain stops evaluating, it starts defaulting. That's the shift, not from bad to good, but from choice to habit. And habit is where brands become powerful, because habits don't feel like decisions, they feel like the obvious thing to do. So when you open your phone at 10:30 p.m., slightly tired, slightly hungry, not really in the mood to think, you don't compare apps. You follow the path your brain has already practiced. And that path very often leads to Zomato. Now, what makes this even more interesting is how this plays out culturally. India doesn't consume content. It reacts to it, amplifies it, and recycles it. A funny notification doesn't stay on your screen. It gets screenshotted, sent to a friend, posted on Instagram, turned into a meme. So what started as a one-to-one communication quietly became one-to-many. And Zomato doesn't control this amplification. It designs for it. By making communication that feels personal enough to notice but relatable enough to share, that balance is really difficult. But when it works, marketing stops being distribution-driven. It becomes culture-driven. And culture, once you enter it, doesn't need constant spending to sustain. It sustains itself. And this is where Zomato became different from its competitors. Because most companies in this space compete using performance, discounts, cashbacks, offers, things that drive immediate action. But performance marketing has a limitation. The moment you stop spending, the results stop. But what Zomato built instead is something slower but far more durable. Presence in your mind. Because once a brand lives there, it doesn't need to keep buying your attention. It already has it. There's a concept in marketing called mental availability, which simply means how easily a brand comes to your mind when you're about to decide. Zomato didn't try to win every order. It tried to win your memory. Because once you exist in memory, you don't need to compete every time. Especially in moments when the consumer is tired, hungry, and not interested in thinking too much. In those moments, the most familiar brand doesn't just win. It feels like the only option. So, the real lesson here isn't that Zomato is funny. It's that in markets where products look identical, attention when compounded over time becomes a moat. Not discounts, not features, but memory. The next time you open a food delivery app, pause for a second. Ask yourself, did I choose this or did I remember this? Because in today's world, the brands that win are not the ones that shout the loudest, but the ones that stay the longest. Thank you for listening to Mind and Market by Prerna. If this episode made you pause even for a moment and look at something familiar a little differently, then it's already done its job. If you enjoyed this, share it with someone who would appreciate thinking a little deeper about the everyday. And if you find yourself noticing patterns like these more often now, then you're exactly where you need to be. I'll see you in the next one.